Welcome to day 27 of my 100 Days of Webflow journey. For the next 3 days, from day 27 to day 30, I'm switching gears a bit. I'll be focusing on rebuilding my Levelflow agency website from scratch. Now, Levelflow is my brand name and I market myself under this name. So it's a solo agency offering Webflow development subscription services. Now, this is my real agency. This is my real work. So I work with different agencies as well and different clients to make Webflow development services. I'm a Webflow expert, so I am very happy building Webflow websites because that's what I really like doing, and that's why I'm making this video for you. So today for the next 3 days, we're building this agency website from scratch. The current website I have is very outdated, so this is my current website. Now I want to make a rebuild, add new elements, and be working on this during this 100 days of Webflow journey. So the plan is that I will walk you through the process from brainstorming ideas to the actual build. Now I'm not claiming this is the best design ever, but I'm gonna make sure that it's developed very well. It will perform really well on Lighthouse and we'll aim to get that 100 score. We'll build it using client first because, let's be honest, FinSuite is awesome and I'm a big fan, and soon I'll be a FinSuite Plus member, so stay tuned for that. I'm coming, FinSuite. And hey, I'm doing this like build in public style. I've seen this on Twitter, it's inspiring. So if you have any ideas or suggestions, feel free to share. Your input could make this even better. So let's dive in and see what we can create, how we can create this together. And let's go. Okay, so we have this design. It's a pretty simple design that we're gonna build on Webflow using the client first system. Now, if you're not familiar with the client first, let me just pull it up. So I have this quick guide on how you should use client first. It's pretty straightforward. Everything's super easy to understand, so you can go through it. Now I use client first regularly, so I'm pretty familiar with most of these stuff. They do make updates, so I tend to come back here to check every once in a while, so that's just good practice. Now let's just take this and start building. So if we go to our project, we can go to one of the client first project starters. Now I have them here saved, so you just duplicate project starter. You can find those on the Made in Webflow or probably somewhere here on the style guide. Yeah. And then once you duplicate the project, you'll have a project ready, duplicated with the style guide, made up, set up for you right here. So this makes life easier. So let's start building our website. Okay, so now let's just set up our workspace. Let's set up the width, the height, everything looks fine. Now I'm viewing my page in 1080 or 1240, so that this is a normal size for viewers. Let's say 1260, just to give myself some edge. So this is the page. I'm gonna delete this part, and now I'm gonna start building my website. So what I want to do is basically build two sections. So there's this navigation bar here, and then there is this content on this side. So to do that, I will start by adding a div block inside page wrapper. We'll call this layout, page layout. Inside it, so page layout would be here. Inside it, we'll put main wrapper and another div. We'll call this sidebar. And then inside sidebar, there will be a navbar, side nav. It's called side nav. So side nav will be flex vertical and we'll have 100 view height. It will be position sticky, and it will have 0 from the top. This is all good. Sidebar now. Okay, so side nav, sidebar. Side nav will be, actually, why not just take side nav out? Just let's use side nav directly as in the nav bar. So that's that. Okay. Page layout will be flex horizontal, so it keeps the content in a horizontal way. And then in the sidebar, all right, so the sidebar will create a div. We'll call it nav, side nav, content, and that will be the container basically. Side nav content will be grow if possible, will be flex, vertical, space between. So inside side nav content, there will be side nav header. Side nav header will have flex. Actually, no flex for side nav header. We'll just have a padding of 100% on the top. And then it will be 100% width. It will be overflow hidden. I will have position relative. That's it. And inside side nav header, there will be the brand. So let's just copy this. So the brand. The brand will be in position, or actually let's just center this like this. Side nav header, just have things centered. And let's remove that 100%. Alright, so then side nav header. Now inside side nav header, there will be sidebar, so side nav header and then side nav avatar. Actually, let's remove this 100% width and let's just give this a height of 300 for now. Keep things centered. And then side nav will be flex center center. Let's copy the photo and the logo. Let's also give side nav a gap of 2 rem, actually 1 rem, and that's that section. And then we will move on to the next section. Now wait, actually let's check the mobile. So the nav menu, this container, we'll just take everything out of the container. I don't want this container. Now let's go to nav menu. So nav menu will be, I have nav and this side nav menu. Let's call this side nav menu. I chose the wrong side nav. This one will be side nav button. Actually, button. And this will be side nav menu. This will be in vertical. It will grow. It will be relative. And that's about it. Now, because this is taking a long space, so maybe we can just call it to resize itself if it's smaller. Now this can be also have a width of 350. This is better. So we'll go back to our side nav menu, and the side nav menu will have a side nav list. Okay, so I was having some storage issues, so I'm gonna be using Loom to record this rest of the video. Okay, so let's continue. Now we stopped at side nav list, so we made side nav list. We'll just continue on styling side nav list. So we said it's vertical. We'll give it some padding, say 1.5 rem on both sides. All right, so you click 1.5 rem and then you go on option, enter, so or alt enter, and then we continue. And now this will be relative, and then we go to the side nav list, nav links. So the nav links are going to be in absolute position because they will gonna have we're gonna have an icon inside, so this will be 0. I don't know why these happen. This will be called nav link or side nav link, or maybe let's give them padding and margins. Maybe later on we will animate them. So padding of 24, let's say 1 rem. I didn't press the right button. And this is 1.5 rem. This is correct. Position vertical, we'll put a height, we'll set a height to it. Or no need to set a height. Let's go to the options, styling, everything is good. And yeah, that sounds about right. Let's put a transition because we're later gonna put a hover state as well. So transition of 350. So this we'll standardize 350 as our transition time, and then we will go on hover, and we'll just make the opacity go to 70 or 50 even. So it goes nice. Right, so let's remove hover. So that's side nav link. Now we'll apply this class to all 3 links. All right, so now we set up side nav links. Now we need to add the icons. So what I did is I got out the icons. So we're gonna export these in SVG. So I can add a link block. Inside it, I will add a text, and inside it, I will add an embed. The embed will be the SVG icon, and this will be called side nav link, and this text will say about, or this text will say home. Actually, this text will say projects because that's the icon, projects. Now let's also remove this style, or let's give it styling. Actually, side nav link to have black text color, or Let's copy this text color. So it'll be 696969. It will be 1 rem. That's good. It will not have decorations. So that's that. And yeah, so this is navbar. It has the animation, so that's good. Now what we will need to do is duplicate this 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And then we'll change the icons. So we'll get the home icon and SVG. We'll copy this. We'll go to the first embed. We'll paste it. We'll just make sure that where it says white, we'll change that to current color so that we can control this through our hover if we decide to change colors. So these are where it says white. Save and close. We'll do the same with this. So what you can do is Control F and then you search for white. Now this is not white, actually this is 666. We'll just add current color. And that's it. Save and close. Now one last one is the vector. So we'll copy this. This one's different, I think. Encode it. Hopefully it won't look different on the project. It does look different. So let's give a space of 1 rem to the items, not 1 rem, 0.5, so that it has some spacing. This will be called contact. This will have padding tiny. So just have padding tiny, so it will padding small. No, padding small is too much. Let's just stick with padding tiny. Padding XX small. This is better. This is the one I want. Let's center nav link so everything's centered and nice. Now let's continue. After side link, side nav list. We're done with side nav list. We have the main. Now let's just go back to the main. Let's remove this. What is it? This is the main actually. So this is the main wrapper. The main wrapper, basically, we will have it grow so that it takes the full width of the page, and that's all it will do. Inside it, we will have the normal build. Now, what you can do is if you're starting a new section or a new page, you can go to the FinSuite extension and get a core page structure. So let's add this page structure. Now I might remove some of it, but basically that's what I initially want. So let's see what it did here. So it added a page wrapper, global styles. Now I already have those. Or actually, these ones are in symbol, but let's check them out. So I think they're the same. Should be the same. Maybe they're updated. This is from the extension, Open Code Editor. They're the same. I don't want them. Let's remove them. So the main wrapper, we already have that. And then we have a section. Let's just get a section here. Let's remove this. Okay. So we have a section. And the section will be section main. It will have 2 rems from the side. No, it won't have 2 rems. Okay, so this is section main. section main will have 100%, 100% width, 100% height, and then inside it will be padding global, and then inside it is container large. Now padding global will need to extend as well. So section main, let's make it flex, center, center. Padding global will need to expand. Container large is already expanded 100%. So we will then go to build the elements. So let's go back to the plan. We will see what we have here. So let's start building. So first we will need a header section. So we'll call this main header. This will have a heading h1. It will say let's copy this here actually. So I just look at it all the time. Okay, it will say Webflow development service. There is a flex here, horizontal. We'll add a button. So there will be a button. Actually, it's not a button, it's a text link. So let's just add a text link. The main header will be down like this. The text link will say subscribe now. Actually, no, I need something like this, like side nav, because I'm just gonna copy paste this. I'm gonna rename it to be main underscore link. We will have another SVG, so we'll go on our project. We'll have actually another SVG. So let's go back to icons. Let's go to icon. Let's go to icon. Sublime text. Let's copy this. Let's go back to our and apply this. This is the icon now. I don't need padding. And this will be like this, and this will say subscribe now. Main link is gonna be without any padding, but main link will have no breaking, so always full text. This will have the color of blue, so I want this blue. Actually, let me just get the hex code of this blue. So this is the hex code of main link text, because there I don't want to control, I don't want to create a class for the text inside. So this is my button. Very nice. I'm going to remove the padding, the horizontal padding, the vertical padding, I mean. So here it's 0, 0, and 0. Looking okay for now. Let's increase the text size, say 1.25 frames, since this is a main button. So let's call this button link main. So this is the main button. Let's call this button primary actually, so that it's the main button. All right, so now let's just put the background colors, because I'm hating how this is looking. So the nav The side nav already has a color. Every nav component has a color, so we'll just add this color here. Now this is looking better. We'll go to section main. We'll add a color. Let's get the color from here. Where is this color? Let's go to section main. Let's go to body and add it to body. All body. So, and then also let's go to all body and make the text white. All right, so we're looking good. We're looking good so far. Now, one last step, we'll need to create that grid. So to create the grid, I will need to add another component in the container. So I'll call this component main grid. And main grid will have padding top of 5 frames, and main grid will have a component inside it. Now this will be the grid, or let's just make the main grid itself the grid. So we make it a grid. So first, so padding top is just to give it padding. Let's remove that, and now we'll start styling our. So we style our component, and then we give it the utility classes. So let's go back to main grid. Let's remove padding top. Let's style the component. Now this is going to be a grid of 4. That's correct. Let's make this one rem between them. This is all good. This is going to be card. No, this is going to be grid main grid 4. Okay, and then this one will also be a grid of 4. And this one will have, so we'll add our first card. So card main. And then the card main will have color of 111. It will have a border of white of 10%, and it will have a text inside it. So there will be a text block that will say 100 plus, and this will be size large. Actually, I need a larger size, h1, or let's just create a custom class. We'll call this card heading. Card heading small. This will be 5 frames. This is small card heading. This is better. This is 1. We'll add another text block. This will say projects. We will center this vertically. We will add a padding of 2 rem all over. So you enter shift enter to give it to everywhere, and then we'll just duplicate this 4 times. One more thing, we'll give it a radius of 5 or 10 actually to make it have a radius. Now we'll copy card main inside this project 4 times, so we have that. Also, let's go to the main grid. Let's give this also one FR. Does it work like that? If I give it one FR, that's even better. So main grid will have the padding top, so it's just padded a little bit from the top. Now it's breaking for some reason. Actually, I might do this to be 3.5 just for the sake of it. Okay, so padding top is breaking it. I don't want that, so let's just remove these styling because I've already styled this by mistake in the beginning, so it's just breaking it. Now this is looking good. This is the first step, so thank you for watching this video. I'm gonna continue on this project tomorrow and continue building this together.